Pay yourself first generated an interest in comments from our previous video. And today we are taking this conversation deeper and further because it is important. You see, it is not about you setting aside a small amount. It is about order, that you do it first. Today we are starting a 90-day challenge when it comes to this bridge towards financial peace and success and satisfaction by paying ourselves first. 90 days is long enough for the habit, for the order of paying yourself first to germinate and finally just happen naturally. These are habits that don't happen naturally. So that is why I've selected 90 days, because I learned a lot when I started paying myself first. However, I would just give it up in the middle and then go back to the old habit of not managing my finances in a manner that was giving me peace of mind. I don't want you to go through that. So let's go. You see, as long as you see money, you spend it. Therefore, open a separate account, an account that you are not going to access easily, in order to remove friction. When it is a bother to access that account, you are going to be helping yourself. So make it difficult for you to access it. Don't be like me, because it was very easy to access what I had put aside until I became quite strict and I opened an account in a totally separate bank that I could barely access easily. Then pay myself first began to make a lot of sense, and it gave me satisfaction and confidence that I could do it and do it successfully. Remember, this is not a saving. It is not an investment. We are starting small, one step at a time, and we are building something big and exciting here. Pay yourself first. So the first month would be fine. However, what happens when you reach, say, 30, 40 days, something happens. Your mind, the trick. The motivation, it wanes like a battery, it loses power. That determination that you're going to do it. After all, you want to learn to pay yourself first. And then you wake up. The whole thing becomes a bother. It happened to me. That motivation, like a battery, the power was gone. Not that I was failing. The important thing is not to quit. You need to go through it. And how do you go through it? Very interesting. Stay with me on this one. When you want to give up, how do you get around that when the motivation is gone? This is what I did. I would delay taking that decision. I would delay quitting and just give myself, let me sleep over it. And then I learned that when I delayed quitting, it worked. I went through the process of pay myself first, and it then became my identity. I now do it easily. It's like getting up in the morning and just enjoying a walk, something that used to be a real bother, etc. The same applies to paying yourself first. You will find that when it is the 40th day and beyond, you are going to begin to just do it easily. It then becomes an identity. You become this person who is confident when it comes to financial management. When you put aside that small amount, you then learn to spend what remains. And that is where financial management starts, when you become disciplined. And then what remains? You start writing it down. You prune what you no longer need. Remember those subscriptions and just eating out when you haven't even planned to eat out. You then learn to look at your income now, your expenditure, and you eliminate what doesn't help you, and then you find that you still remain with something which you can then put in that separate account. It starts small and it works wonders. Why am I passionate about this? I have learned that the biggest challenge that we have involves money and relationships. And I would very much like to see you blossoming into this person who manages finance in a manner that gives peace of mind. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing with you what I learned, and I learned that at a very late stage, having been a professional, a lawyer who didn't know these things, who didn't even think about these things. It mustn't happen to you. So, when I was right in the middle of, when I was in the process of paying myself first, this is what happened. It may happen to you. I'm not scaring you, but I don't want you to be ambushed. You may wake up one day and then, because remember, the motivation is gone, and then you have seen something that is on sale, and then you say, it would be a saving if I buy that. Be careful when that thought happens. Oh, let me just dip into that account. After all, I'm borrowing from myself. I'm going to refund it. Be careful when that happened. Oh, I've been good for about 40 days. Let me just delay this, etc. Don't do it. In short, don't break that momentum, that determination, because the motivation is gone. Don't quit. Don't listen to that voice. Delay dipping into that little stash. Delay and decide to go through it. Be persistent. Remind yourself that you are on a journey towards being this person who pays himself or herself first in order to manage finances in a manner that gives peace of mind. If you find this video helpful, remember to like it, subscribe, and before I sign off, I'm going to be asking you to do this. Today, right now, can you indicate when you are going to start paying yourself first and the amount? Can you do that? Because I want us to continue to have this interaction. And when you reach 30 days, please indicate when you reach 30 days. Share your experience, because I do want us to build a community of people who are not assailed by the challenges that emanate from financial challenges. Can you just remember to do that? Indicate when you're going to start, for how long, and let us regroup. And do remember, subscribe so that we grow this community. Share it with your friends. You may find that somebody will take something away for the better. And thank you for watching. I look forward to meeting you on the bridge.